Hello, I am Betu. I am an industrial engineer and I am building operational AI systems for companies. And 6 months ago, I've quit my job and started a company. And 3 weeks ago, I got my first client. And in November, I will be at Web Summit, which is one of the biggest tech conferences in Europe, as they claim. And I want to talk about the things that lead me to like relative success, I'll say. Because I think on this way I've changed my definition of success is changed very much. But I'll say relative success. So what leads me here, how I got there, how I got my first client, and how I got accepted to this alpha program of in Web Summits. I'll talk about that. I'm not gonna say you should do this, do that, but I'll talk about the mental block that we have generally. Okay, it's just so easy one. I'm sure I'll start with this one. It's just so easy. Like, I'm sure you have seen this and you have heard about it everywhere, but I still see a lot of people that they have a biggest fear of rejection. Like, they don't do it because they might get rejected. They just don't apply to things. They just don't talk to people. They just don't go there. And then they don't get rejected. Because I think we should, if you want to be successful, at least in the sense of like if you want to be a founder, you should leave that outside of the door. Like, leave it and enter the room. Leave it outside and enter the room of trying to become a founder if you are gonna. No fear of rejection. If you have fear of rejection, it's not gonna lead. You're not gonna be successful as a founder. It's impossible. I mean, and I'm not talking about the feeling, by the way. Like, you can fear, but if you are derived with the fear of rejection, I'm not saying that you should not feel that. It's wrong. I'm not saying that. You can fear, that's okay. But if you are acting on it, like if you are so anxious about the rejection and if you don't apply, then there is no success for you. And second one, I think I'll talk about every people in the world has opinion on many things, and those opinions are so biased to our lives, biased to our experiences, biased to our friends, our communities and everything. And if you have a mind that has very big weight on the others people opinions, like if you put so much care on it, it's like you'll get lost on the way. Some of you should know that their AI in a works that it has a weight on the words. Simple to say, weights on the words. If you should decrease the weights on other people's words to lead to success. And third one, illusion of everyone is ahead of you and no more than you. That's an illusion. Because along the way, I've met some people, and if you check their LinkedIn, you'll feel like, oh my god, they are so successful, they are so ahead of me, they know everyone, they went to everywhere and they've tried everything, so how can I start? Like, there are a lot of people who is very successful and I'm so small. If you think like that, and you gotta know that's an illusion. That's not a reality, and there are really some people out there puts really a lot of effort, but everything is evolving. Like, the world is not a state, is not in one state. State is changing and they are evolving. They'll get bigger, maybe. They'll be more successful along the way, or maybe they'll get like maybe they'll give up on the way, or they'll find another opportunities. But if you compare yourself with others and think that they are so ahead of you and you are so behind, and no success for you. Like, the key point here is you will have a very different journey, a very different way, and you should not compare yourself with the others, but you should try to learn from their experiences. You should try to learn from them. If you had any chance to come across with a successful person, you should try to use the information they have, like use the experiences and use it in your own way. Like, you have your ideas and you have your mind, but choose the information up. I think that was the third one. And fourth one, mental overload of what ifs. Okay. If you think like, what if something happened? What if I'm not successful? What if I will be a loser? Something like that. If you have like a what if mind, you should put that outside also, because not trying is losers too. Okay, I'm not like a motivational quote here, but if we are only talking about that, if you want to be a founder, and you want to make up your mind, that's what we are talking about here. Like, I'm not saying that if you're not trying, you're a loser, something like that. But if you have a mental overload of what ifs, and if you use that as an excuse to not trying, and if you are unhappy with that, try to put that outside. I know it's just easy to say like that, but I just want to tell you that you're not gonna be seen as a loser if you don't success. And success is not defined. Like, what is success? If you are trying, you will be successful at the end. If you have really good reasons to try, and by reasons I mean, like, if you can see the problems in the world in any area and you want to work on that, then you will be successful in the end. So that is to say, put that aside. Mental overload of what ifs. Okay, last but not least, believe in that you gotta know everything beforehand. Like, you gotta know how to talk to clients, like, you gotta know how to sell, you gotta know what your product is gonna be. Even that, you don't have to know that in at the beginning. At the beginning, you gotta have a vision, a problem, and then you gotta work on it. But that's so rare. For example, you have your product and you are working on it, but you don't have like a very clear 6-month plan. That's okay. I mean, you gotta work on it, and it's really necessary for big conferences to consider about your startup. When they consider you, when they check if you are eligible or not, they look at that. But you don't have to know everything beforehand, because on the way it will change probably. It's not gonna stay same, because world is evolving. You are gonna evolve a lot. That's a journey. Okay, I'll tell all of them again. I'll repeat them. 1 is fear of rejection. 2, others' very weighted opinions. 3, illusion of everyone is ahead of you and know more than you. 4, mental overload of what ifs. And 5, believing that you gotta know everything beforehand. Did I miss anything? No. All right. Those are the things that I wanted to talk about today. Actually, I was gonna talk about something else, but because of something I had today, an experience made me to share this with you. So I hope this was helpful. See you in the next one.